There has never been more information, and yet it's harder than ever to think clearly. Not because truth is hidden, but because everything is speaking at once. Facts arrive constantly. Opinions multiply instantly. Explanations stack on top of explanations. And understanding never settles. Clarity doesn't disappear when information is scarce. It disappears when information loses hierarchy. When everything arrives at the same volume, nothing stands out. The mind was never built to process this much input without order. So it does what it always does under pressure. It flattens. Important and trivial merge. Urgent and irrelevant blur. Signal dissolves into noise. When information loses hierarchy, the mind stops ranking. And when the mind stops ranking, reaction replaces judgment. This is why clarity feels rare now. Not because you aren't informed, but because information has replaced understanding. Exposure is mistaken for insight. Awareness is mistaken for clarity. This confusion is not new. Long before modern media accelerated perception, the same distortion appeared, just slower. In ancient Greece, Plato warned that most people mistake appearance for truth, not because they were foolish, but because they were surrounded by impressions. What is repeated feels real. What is loud feels important. What is shared feels confirmed. Crowds amplify illusion, and once illusion is repeated often enough, it replaces reality. Plato wasn't describing deception. He was describing saturation. Too many appearances, not enough discernment. The mind absorbs before it can evaluate. And when perception is saturated, certainty feels urgent, even when it's wrong. Return to the present. Today, information arrives faster than thought. Updates replace reflection. Commentary replaces understanding. Speed replaces accuracy. Everything demands attention. Nothing earns it. So the mind stops ranking. Headlines, speculation, emergencies, and opinions collapse into the same mental space. This is why people feel constantly reactive, not because the world is more dangerous, but because perception is overcrowded. Clarity requires space, but space no longer exists. Every moment is filled, every silence interrupted, every pause colonized by noise. So understanding never concludes. The mind is always processing, never finishing. This is why certainty feels fragile, not because truth is complex, but because perception is flooded. Information does not enlighten by default. Without order, it distorts. Without restraint, it overwhelms. Noise doesn't announce itself as noise. It announces itself as urgency. And until that is recognized, clarity will continue to feel rare, even in a world overflowing with information.